What's up, everyone? Mr. Noob2 Gamer, giving you guys another Call of Duty Black Ops 4 gameplay commentary. Today we're playing Team Deathmatch on Jungle Flooded, and in today's commentary, I'm going to talk about what everyone else is talking about right now, which is the leaked title of this year's upcoming Call of Duty game, which is supposedly going to be called Call of Duty World War II Vanguard. So, it's pretty much all but confirmed that the next Call of Duty game will be another return to World War II, which I know a lot of people are not too thrilled about because they feel like World War II has kind of been there, done that. Why do we need to go back to it again? But that seems to be the direction that Sledgehammer is headed in. So, yeah, I mean, World War II Vanguard implies that it's going to be a sequel to World War II, which came out in 2017, kind of like how Black Ops Cold War was a direct sequel to Black Ops 1. If you play the single-player campaign, you would know that it's actually a direct sequel. In terms of the multiplayer, it's absolute shit in comparison to Black Ops 1, but the actual narrative and storyline is a direct sequel to Black Ops 1. So, I'm assuming with World War II Vanguard, they're gonna do the same thing. You might see a lot of the same characters in World War II make appearances in World War II Vanguard. So, I guess if you're really a huge fan of the World War II campaign, this might be some exciting news for you. Me personally, I played like 2 missions and I stopped playing because I'm not really a big person. Like, I'm not a huge fan of single-player campaigns. I'm not really into it as much as other people are. And the funny thing is about Black Ops 4, people are bitching and complaining about that game not having a single-player campaign. But the truth of the matter is, if you look at the statistics, if you look at the actual numbers, nobody plays a single player. And, you know, I know two or three people are going to comment saying, well, I play the single player. But out of all the people that play it, I think it's less than 10% that even start the campaign. Never mind people that actually finish it. So, there's a reason why Black Ops 4 didn't have a campaign, and they went with Battle Royale instead, because the fact of the matter is, more people are playing Battle Royale than they are campaign. And I put a lot more hours into Blackout than I ever would have with a Black Ops 4 single player. So it really is a non-issue. Like, when we're talking about the setting of the game, that really only matters when we're talking about the actual single player campaign. And since that's something that is irrelevant to me anyway, I guess the setting isn't that much of a big deal. Even though I kind of made a big deal out of it when I made my commentary last month talking about the next Call of Duty game potentially being set in World War II. I was kind of complaining. I'm like, do we really need another World War II game? World War II's been so overdone in the FPS market. We really don't need another World War II setting. But really, it doesn't matter, because as long as the actual multiplayer is fun and enjoyable, I don't really care where it's set. I don't care if they go back to the future, for all I care. Like, they can make another Advanced Warfare game as long as it's fun. The actual setting doesn't really matter that much. So, yeah, I'm not, like, too hung up on World War II. I know a lot of people are, like, really adamant against another World War II game. But for me, I guess I could take it or leave it. Like, the setting isn't really a huge factor for me. I know for a lot of people it matters, but whatever. So, with the multiplayer, they can go one of two directions. Here's how I see it. And I talked about this in my commentary discussing another World War II game in 2021, thinking that there's one of two outcomes that we could see. We could see a game that plays very similar to World War II in the sense that it's very arcadey, it's very fast-paced, and it pretty much plays like World War II, except, of course, you would have better graphics. You know, an interesting question is whether or not Call of Duty 2021 is going to be a current-gen exclusive, meaning the PlayStation 5 and Series X, or is it also going to be released on the PS4 and Xbox One? That, honestly, it could go either way. I know that they kept supporting the PS3 and 360 for a number of years. I think the last one that, the last Call of Duty game that had a release on the 7th-gen consoles was Black Ops 3, and yeah, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about Black Ops 3 on last-gen consoles or 7th-gen consoles, because it was probably one of the worst ports in video game history. It played like shit. It was awful. Yeah, anyone who played that knows what I'm talking about. So, yeah, hopefully, if they continue to support the PS4 and Xbox One for this year's Call of Duty, it doesn't run and play like absolute shit, because that's a concern. That if they keep selling the game to old consoles that can't handle it, you're going to screw over a lot of people, because I know, in a perfect world, it would be great if they can support as many consoles as they could, as many platforms as they could, but if it hinders the actual quality of the game, or if they have to release a gimped version of it in order to be able to run on those consoles, because Black Ops 3 was running at 30 FPS, it didn't have a single-player campaign, which is like whatever, but it also didn't have any DLC, so you only were able to play like, 2 or 3 maps? I think Shadows of Evil and The Giant were the only Black Ops 3 Zombies maps you could play on the PS3 and 360. So, yeah, I mean, if they're gonna, take the game and cut all the features and just make it, a terrible experience, I think they're better off just keeping it on the current-gen systems, the PS5 and Series X, but Activision, they only care about money, so if there's still money to be made on the PS4 and Xbox One, we're probably going to get that. But other than that, I can see them doing that, have it be a game that plays like World War II, so it's a classic, fast-paced shooter, like a classic Call of Duty game is pretty much what I'm referring to, because that's what Call of Duty World War II is. It feels like classic COD, it plays like classic COD, and it doesn't really deviate too much from that formula. On the other hand, I can see them doing something else. I could see them taking the Modern Warfare engine and using a lot of assets from Modern Warfare and pretty much making a World War II reskin of Modern Warfare 2019. I see that as a very strong possibility, and I have a bad feeling they're going to do that. And I really hope they don't, because Modern Warfare is the absolute worst Call of Duty game of all time. I know a lot of people don't like it when I say that. I always earn myself a number of dislikes on my video whenever I refer to Modern Warfare as the worst COD ever made, but I'm going to keep fucking saying it until the end of time, because it's true. Modern Warfare is an awful game, so if Sledgehammer's game plays anything like it, it will also be a terrible game by default, especially if they have doors and all the bullshit, but the tactical gameplay, everything that was introduced with Modern Warfare, with the exception of the gunsmith, was terrible. Don't even get me started with skill-based matchmaking, because, yeah, I said this before, and I'm going to double down. If the next Call of Duty game has the same skill-based matchmaking system as Modern Warfare and Cold War, I will not buy the game. I will never buy the game. And I mean it. You guys can look back, in a few months, and if you see me playing the game, you can call me a fucking hypocrite, you can call me a liar, a piece of shit, whatever, because I will deserve it. But I guarantee you, if the game has skill-based matchmaking, strict skill-based matchmaking, because that's something that I need to differentiate, because Black Ops 4 technically has SBMM, but it's not nearly as strict, it's not nearly as rough as it is in Modern Warfare and Cold War, where every fucking game feels like a $10 million esports fucking tournament. I hate that shit. I'm also not going to buy the game if we get the same terrible streak system from Cold War. I'm not going to buy it if we get that too. The entire premise of my channel, the reason why my channel is kind of taking off in the first place, it's because I go back and play the older games. So if I don't buy the new one, it's not going to affect me that much like it does with other YouTubers that have to pretend that they like these fucking new garbage games. So I really don't care. I don't mind if I skip another year of Call of Duty. I'll just keep playing nothing but Black Ops 1, Modern Warfare 2, the original World War 2, and even Black Ops 4. I'll play anything except for the new shit at this point, because the skill-based matchmaking is awful. The only people that like SBMM are people that are awful at video games, and they need that crutch in order to actually do well in the game. So, yeah, people who actually like skill-based matchmaking, your opinion is irrelevant. I don't care about what you have to say, because you're not a real Call of Duty fan anyway. But if World War II Vanguard is just, they take World War II and improve upon it with the better graphics, and, they have more technology at their disposal, even though it might also get released on the PS4 and Xbox One, so it might not even be able to take that much advantage of the new technology. But, I mean, that would be cool if they could. And also, if it's just a fun game, that's all I want. I want a fun Call of Duty with decent maps and no strict skill-based matchmaking. Is that too much to ask for? I guess these days it is, but that's what it's going to have to take for me to even think about buying the game. Through all the updates and the patches, World War II eventually became a good game, but it took a while for them to get there. It took them at least 6 months before World War II was a half-decent game. So I'm hoping that Sledgehammer has learned from their past mistakes, and they deliver something special this year. That's the best I could hope for. I'm going to hope for the best and expect the worst. That's what you have to do if you're a Call of Duty fan in 2021. But I want to hear what you guys think about Call of Duty World War II Vanguard. Do you think it's going to be a good game? Do you think it's going to suck? And what do you want the game to be? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Thank you all for watching. and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.